What is going on, everybody? Tommy Star here. Thank you for clicking on this video. And I'm excited about today because this week, me and the family are once again in Tucson, Arizona on vacation. And I am here, of course, visiting my childhood friend, Donny. And if you guys remember last year, and I will link the video down below in the description, but we went around and checked out a few filming locations from my favorite movie in the world, The Wraith. And if you guys want to go check that out, I think we hit up like 3 spots. I think it was like Carrie's house, the bridge that the car crashed through the police barricade, and then we went and looked at Big K's Burgers. Yeah. And that's about as much as we could do last time. And now today, we decided to go around and check out a couple more filming locations from The Wraith. We actually just got done watching the video on the Blu-ray of The Wraith in the special features menu, the then and now filming locations that YouTuber did, just to kind of get an idea of specifically where locations are. And Donnie made himself a list of some of the spots that we're going to hit. There's obviously a lot more that I want to hit, but some of them are a little bit difficult to get to. Like a lot of them are up on the mountains and stuff. But we do have a few spots that we decided to check out. They're not too far away, not too hard to get to. Like, I don't know, 4 or 5 different spots we'll see. But I will take you guys with me, and we will check them out together. So come along, and let's check out some more filming locations from my favorite movie ever, The Wraith. Let's do it. Okay, you guys, so we are over at location number 1. We're not 100% positive, but the scene in the movie where Sheriff Loomis goes to speak to Skake and the Gutter Boy, if you remember, he drives through that airplane junkyard or graveyard, whatever they call it. There's a lot of these type of airplane junkyards and things like that in Tucson. There's bigger ones. And from our research, we're thinking this is probably the one. This looks to be most familiar as far as like where he probably went and drove through. Because some of the other ones, they're really big and they're a lot more restricted. From a movie perspective, this was probably the most accessible for him back in the day, even though now we can't get in here. It's all fenced off and everything. But like I said, based on our research, this is probably where it was. You know, maybe not like right there, but like, you know, probably in the back somewhere. So, yeah, like I said, not a very exciting first location to see just because we can't really pinpoint precise locations, but we got some other cool spots planned here in a minute. So, but yeah, just want to go ahead and start out with this one. All right, we're over at the next location, and it is, bam. Does this look familiar? So we're over at the spot where Packard's garage was that got blown up in the movie. And it took some time to really map out the exact spot, but I think we're doing pretty good. I think we're pretty much in the right location. Obviously, a lot of this has changed over the years, like everything else, but I'm thinking the garage was like right about here somewhere, which obviously got blown up in the movie, so it is no longer here. But as far as like the driveway that went up to the garage, it's probably somewhere in here. You know, there's probably like a big spot in the middle here where the actual path was that went up to the warehouse. But a lot of it has changed and grown up and stuff, all these trees, so who knows, but you can definitely tell by this part of the mountain. Definitely matches up, especially with all these trees and some of those spots on the mountain. But yeah, this is where the garage was. A couple different scenes from the movie were there. Somewhere right about here is where Rughead was, next to his truck when he pulled over when the Wraith flew in. And then you watch the warehouse explode. It was just probably somewhere over here. But this is all like a camping ground now. Sure, it was a lot different back then, but this is where it was. So, pretty darn cool. Definitely a awesome, memorable scene from the movie. Wish the building was still here, but if it was still here, that means we wouldn't have gotten that awesome explosion in the movie. But yeah, he would have flew in somewhere right here and went up to the warehouse and bam, Skank and Gutter Boy were toast. And then I'm sure all around this area over there is probably where Loomis and Rughead were, walking around talking. And he was like, Skank and the Gutter Boy, they were right there. And it's like they vaporized. And they're just kind of walking around looking at the remains. And that's when Rughead broke down the whole story of them killing Jamie and everything. But yeah, definitely a cool scene. I didn't think we could get out to this spot. I thought it was more up on the mountain or something, but we decided to come up the hill closer to where this big mountain is. And now we're looking down and it's hard to tell, it could have been in that open area right there, the building. But like I said, this is just a different vantage point looking down. So I think it's gonna be a little bit easier to figure out when we were down there at the bottom. But yeah, we're way up on the hill now. And here's a closer look at the mountains. So that could have been where it was. It could have been right there. But I just keep thinking about the big driveway that the Wraith drove up, which went up a hill and smashed into the warehouse. So, we thought maybe it was this driveway, but this just goes right up in the mountain and there's no spot up here that's big enough for a building to sit, So it's probably, I would assume there. I mean, you got to think, over the years, a lot of this probably changed. Maybe there was a driveway that went up. Hard to tell, but so yeah, cool spot. Okay, you guys, so we are now at a location that would probably be the one I have been wanting to see the most out of any location, and this is it. Now, we're not going to be able to get quite the same effect because I'm sure in the movie, they could have had the camera way up on some kind of a platform, maybe roll it way up high and zoomed way in, but this is the road and we're pretty much in the correct area where Charlie Sheen, his character Jake, was cruising into town on his motorcycle coming down that road towards us. We are out on San Joaquin Road in Sinagua, and yeah, this is where it is. Again, it's going to be hard to really see the right effect, but I'll kind of zoom in a little bit and you can see how bumpy the road starts to get, like almost like a roller coaster, like up, down, up, down. And like I said, they probably had the camera way up high, zoomed way in, kept the camera right on Charlie Sheen as he rode up and down those bumps heading into town. So I've been wanting to see this location forever, because this is basically one of the main opening sequences of the movie. So this is just so cool, you guys. This is just an amazing moment to see. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna actually drive down to the end, and we're gonna turn the car around and start heading back this way to kind of get what would have been Jake's perspective coming into town. Yeah, this is it, where those cars are coming in. That would have been where he would have been cruising on his bike. So damn cool. Okay, so now we're in the car driving down the road, and you can see it's starting to look a little bit more familiar to the look in the movie. And again, I think it's just because of how zoomed in the camera was in that scene that I was just standing at. But now it's starting to look more like it. And there's another scene in the movie, which I'll show you right here. The same road, but this was where the Wraith was being chased by Loomis. Another zoomed in angle with the camera, but that's where he would have disappeared up into the sky. And Loomis just had this look on his face like, what the hell did I just see? You see how bumpy it's starting to get? Now we're at the point where Charlie Sheen was actually riding the motorcycle coming towards us way back there. And oh my God, it feels like a roller coaster every time we go up and down. So he probably started like right about here. So now here we are heading back the opposite direction, and this would have been Jake's point of view, riding his motorcycle up and down these little hills, heading towards the camera, and then the camera would be somewhere way down at the end of this road. So yeah, this is actually Jake's perspective. This is so cool. Just cruising down on the bike. And I don't know, it's funny, when I first seen the movie back in the day and saw that scene, for some reason it just appeared as more of a residential type road, kind of like in an area where Carrie lived. But no, it's like way out here in the desert. And I'd never been to Arizona before, so I didn't really put two and two together. But this was amazing, you guys. Just can't believe we found the road of the scene with Jake cruising down on his motorcycle. Freaking epic. Okay, next location, and this one is pretty damn epic too, but we're basically right next to where we were on that other road. We just had to turn down Mile Wide Road, and I'm gonna flip the camera around here. This is actually the opening credit scene where the white Daytona was cruising down. If you look way down there, the way that road kind of like starts to curve up and then off to the left, you can see that in the real scene. And if you look at all the mountain shapes in the background, they all match up perfectly too. This is just amazing. This is where the Dodge Daytona was cruising down, and then everybody in Packard's gang pulled them over and made them race. Yeah, this is the opening scene when we heard "Where's the Fire" by Tim Feehan. This is just awesome. So cool to see how perfectly it matches up with the road and the mountains. This is just badass. I'm so nerding out right now. It's cool that if you guys are a fan of this movie and you're out here and you want to see these two locations, from the motorcycle cruising down and the Daytona cruising down, they're right next to each other. So you can just get them back to back. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Some more filming locations for my favorite movie, The Wraith. I'm actually home now. Long drive yet again, 30 hours from Tucson to Minneapolis. We had a great time as usual. Cannot wait to go back and get some more movie locations from The Wraith. Like I said, there's a lot more to see, but some more difficult locations to get to. Like up in the mountains, there were a lot of racing sequences filmed up there, like where Augie flew off the cliff, and then the scene where they're out by the river and they're hanging out on the rocks. That's a little bit difficult to get to. You got to park and walk like 2 miles or something like that. Hopefully the next time I go to Tucson, we'll be able to get those locations, because that would be awesome. But that'll do it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I mentioned at the beginning, if you guys want to see the filming locations I did last year for the Wraith, I'll put that video down in the description box. So make sure you drop a comment down below. Are you guys a fan of the Wraith? Have you been out to Tucson and seen these locations for yourself? And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.